Hare Krishna. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitangscha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So continuing with Mahabharata, Kundalaharana Parva, chapter 588, episode 291. Vaishampayana said, the intelligent maiden spoke many sweet words and entreated the one with the 1,000 rays, but did not succeed. O king, when the maiden could not dissuade the dispeller of darkness, she was afraid of the curse and thought for a long period of time, my father is innocent. How can I prevent the angry Vibhavasu from cursing him and that Brahmana because of what I have done? Though energy and austerities destroy sin, those who are young can be deluded and should not draw near them. Because of my folly, I am now extremely terrified and have been grasped by the arm. How can I perform the task of giving myself up on my own? Terrified of the curse, she thought about this in many ways. Though she kept smiling repeatedly, her limbs were suffering from delusion. O supreme among kings, she was frightened of the curse and for her relatives. O Lord of the earth, confounded by shame, she spoke these words to the god. Kunti said, O God, my father is alive, and so are my mother and other relatives. Since they are alive, this violation of the rules should not happen. O God, if I unite with you, disregarding the rules because of my deeds, the fame of this lineage will be destroyed in this world. O foremost among those who provide heat, but if you think that this is in accordance with Dharma, I will comply with your desire without being given away by my relatives. O irresistible one, I will remain virtuous even after giving myself to you. Dharma, fame, deeds, and the lives of beings are manifest in you. Surya said, O one with the beautiful smiles, O one with the beautiful hips, O fortunate one, your father, your mother, and your elders are not capable of bestowing you. Listen to my words, O beautiful one, O one with the beautiful complexion, O one with the beautiful buttocks. A completely free girl is known as Kanya in this world from the root kan, because she can desire everyone. O beautiful one, you will not commit any adharma. How can I, with the welfare of the world in mind, commit adharma? O one with the beautiful complexion, it is natural in this world that all women and men should be without restraints. Anything that is against this is a distortion. Having united with me, you will again become a virgin. You will have a mighty armed and immensely famous son. Kunti said, O dispeller of everything that is dark, if I obtain a son through you, may he have ill armor, may he be mighty armed, brave, and immensely strong. Surya replied, he will be mighty armed and possess earrings, O fortunate one, He will be clad in divine armor, and both of these will originate in Amrita. Kunti said, if my son's earrings and the excellent armor are created out of Amrita, as you have said, you may beget him on me. O God, O illustrious one, then I will unite with you. May he have valor, beauty, and energy, and be united with Dharma, like you. Surya replied, O Queen, O one who has been excited, O timid one, Aditi herself gave me these earrings. I will give them to him, together with this excellent armor. Pritha said, O illustrious God, O Lord of the cows. That's a wrong translation. Gopati. Gopati can mean Lord of cows, but in context of the sun, Go means rays. So, O Lord of rays, if my son is going to be, as you have said, I will happily unite with you. Vaishampayana said, having told Kunti that it would be this way, the traveller in the sky and the enemy of Swarbhanu used the self he had created through yoga to enter her and touched her on the navel. The maiden was overwhelmed with Surya's energy. The goddess fell down on her bed, bereft of her senses. Surya said, "Oh, one with the beautiful buttocks, I have now finished. You will give birth to a son who will be the foremost among all wielders of weapons, but you will become a virgin. O Indra among kings, overcome with shame, the maiden requested Surya that it might be this way, and that one who was rich in resplendence disappeared. Thus the daughter of the king of Kunti was promised and bashfully asked for the sun god. She fell down on the auspicious bed, overcome with confusion, like a broken creeper. Having confounded her with his fierce rays, and having inserted himself in her through yoga, Bhanu did not taint her. The young maiden again recovered her senses. Chapter 589. Episode 292. Vaishampayana said, O Lord of the earth, in Shukla Paksha of the 10th month, like the Lord of the stars in the sky, a child was conceived in Pritha's womb. The maiden with the beautiful buttocks was concerned that her relatives would censure her if they got to know about the conception. But people did not get to know. The young maiden lived in the inner quarters and was skilled at protecting herself. No one other than her nurse got to know. In due course of time, through the favours of the god, the maiden, who was excellent in her complexion, gave birth to a son. He was as radiant as the immortals. He was attired in armour and was adorned in golden and brilliant earrings. His eyes were tawny, and he had the shoulders of a bull like his father. As soon as the son was born, the beautiful one consulted the nurse. She placed the child in a basket that was prepared well on all sides. It was comfortable and soft, with covers and lined with beeswax. With tears in her eyes, she set it afloat on the waters of the river Ashwa. Oh, among kings, though she knew that it was improper for an unmarried maiden to have a child, out of affection for her son, she lamented piteously. She cast away the basket in the waters of the river Ashwa. Having done this, Kunti wept and spoke these words. Listen to them. O son, may you be safe from all the beings in the sky, the earth and heaven, and from those that roam the water. May your paths be auspicious, and may you be free from obstructions. O son, May those who meet you have no enmity in their minds. May King Varuna, the Lord of Waters, protect you in the water. May the wind god, who travels everywhere, protect you in the sky. May your father, foremost among those who provide heat, protect you everywhere. O son, driven by destiny, he is the one who has given you to me. The Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Sadyas, Vishwadevas, the Maruts, together with Indra, the directions and the lords of the directions and all the gods must protect you in terrain that is smooth and rough. Even if you are in a different region, I will get to know you through your armor. O son, your father, the god Bhanu Vibhavashu, is fortunate. Through his divine eyesight, he will see you flowing down the river. Blessed is the woman who will adopt you as her son. You are the son of a god, and when you are thirsty, you will drink milk at her breast. What kind of dream must the woman who will adopt you have had? You are like Aditya in your radiance. You are clad in divine armor. You are adorned in divine earrings. Your eyes are long and wide like a lotus. Your palms are coppery red like a lotus. You have beautiful forehead and beautiful hair. O son, fortunate are the ones who will see you crawling around on the ground, uttering inarticulate words and covered in dust. O son, fortunate are those who will see you become a youth, like a lion with a mane in the forests of the Himalayas. O king, thus did Pritha piteously lament in many ways as she consigned the basket to the waters of the river Ashwa, in the company of her nurse and at night. Overcome with grief for her son, the lotus-eyed one wept. Pritha yearned to see her son. She cast away the basket and returned again to the palace, overcome with grief, but frightened that her father might get to know. The basket flowed from the river Ashwa to the river Charmanvati, from Charmanvati to Jamuna, and from there it went to Ganga. The waves of the Ganga bore the son and the basket to the city of Champa, the habitation of charioteers. With divine armor and earrings that were created from Amrita, the son was protected by the gods because of what had been ordained by destiny. 590, episode 293. Vaishampayana said, it's good, isn't it, Mathura? You can make some images for this. Dhritarashtra had a friend, and he was named Adhirata. At that time, he went to the Jahnavi together with his wife. O king, his wife was unrivaled on earth in her beauty. The immensely fortunate one was named Radha, and she had no son, though she had undertaken special efforts to obtain offspring. She saw the basket floating along as it willed. It was protected well and was beautiful with ribbons and a handle. The waves of the Jahnavi carried it near her. Driven by curiosity, the beautiful one grasped it. Then she told Sutta Adhirata about this. He took the basket out of the water and used instruments to pry it open. Then he saw the boy there, with golden armor. He was as radiant as the morning sun. He had a beautiful face, adorned with radiant earrings. The Sutta, together with his wife, gazed, their eyes wide with wonder. He then took the boy onto his lap and spoke these words to his wife. O timid one, O beautiful one, since I have been born, I have not witnessed such a wonder. I think that a son the gods has come to us. Since I have no offspring, I am certain that the gods have given me a son. O Lord of the earth, speaking thus, he handed over the son to Rata. Rata then accepted that divine-looking son in accordance with the prescribed rites. This son of a god was beautiful and as splendid as the cup of a lotus. She reared him, and appropriately he grew up. He was brave. Since that time she also gave birth to other sons. The boy was clad in expensive armor and wore golden earrings. On seeing this, the Brahmanas gave him the name of Vasushena. Thus, the infinitely valorous one came to be the son of a Suta and was known by the name of Vashushena. The Lord was also known as Vrisha. The Suta's eldest son grew up to be powerful in his limbs. Through a spy, Pritha got to know that he was clad in celestial armor. In due course, when Suta Adhirata saw that his son had grown up, he sent him to the city of Varanasavya, Hastinapur. There he went to Drona to learn about weapons. The brave one became Duryodhana's friend. Having obtained the 4 kinds of weapons from Drona, Kripa, and Rama, that is, Parashurama, he became famous in the world as a great archer. Having allied himself with Dhritarashtra's sons, he was engaged in enmity towards the Parthas. He always desired to fight with the great-souled Falguna, Arjuna. O Lord of the earth, ever since they first saw each other, he competed with Arjuna, and Arjuna competed with Karna. On seeing that he possessed earrings and was clad in armor, Yudhisthira thought that he was invincible in battle and was miserable. O Indra among kings, at noon Karna used to worship the radiant sun, standing in the water and with his hands joined in salutation. Brahmanas who desired riches approached him then. At that time there was nothing that he wouldn't refuse to Brahmanas. Indra assumed the form of a Brahmana and approached, saying, "Give me." "You are welcome," replied Radheya. Okay, I'll let someone else have a go now.
I think Kanai, it's your go now, if you're up for it.
Okay.
It's an exquisite irony, isn't it?
I know. I'm seeing everything as images now. Yeah, I've got to do the opening of the box now with the suitor and
Yeah,
seeing the boy inside. I've got to do that illustration. Wow. Anyway, somewhere along, it's incredible, isn't it? You can't
yeah,
know that these details. It's so good to know the details.
excellent.
Aribo. Have you got enough light there? Yeah, just about. Yeah.
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 Chapter 591, episode 294. Vaishampayana said, on seeing the king of the gods, disguised as a Brahmana, Vrisha welcomed him, though he did not know what his intentions were. Adhirata's son asked the Brahmana, beautiful maidens with golden throats or villages full of many enclosures of cattle, what will I give you? The Brahmana replied, I do not wish for beautiful women with golden throats, or any other objects that heighten pleasure. Give these to those who desire them. O unblemished one, I desire your natural armor and earrings. If you are true to your vows, slice these off and give them to me. O scorcher of enemies, I desire that you give these to me swiftly. I think that this gain is superior to all the other gains. Karna said, O Brahmana, I will give you habitable land, women, cows and rice for many years, but not my armor together with the earrings. Oh, best of the Bharata lineage, thus did Karna entreat the Brahmana with many different kinds of words, but he did not desire any other boon. When that supreme among Brahmanas wished for no other boon, Radeya laughed and spoke to him again. O Brahmana, my natural armor and earrings have been created from Amrita. Because of them, I cannot be slain in all the worlds. I will not part with them. O bull among Brahmanas, take this extensive kingdom on the earth, peaceful and without any thorns. Accept them in a happy frame of mind, O supreme among Brahmanas. Without my earrings and natural armor, I will become vulnerable before my enemies. When the illustrious chastiser of Paka did not ask for any other boon, Karna laughed again and addressed these words to him. O Lord of the gods, I know who you are. O Shakra, 'tis not proper for me to give you a boon that will be in vain. You are the Lord of the gods himself, and it is you who should give me a boon, since you are the Lord of all other beings and the creator of all beings. O God, if I give you my earrings and armor, I will be liable to be killed. O Shakra, you will become an object of ridicule. O Shakra, therefore take my earrings and my supreme armor if you so wish, but take them in exchange. Otherwise I will not give them. Shakra replied, Ravi had earlier got to know about my intended arrival. Ravi is another name for Surya. There is no doubt that he has told you everything. O son, O Karna, therefore ask for what you want. With the exception of my Vajra, you can ask for whatever else you wish. At that, Karna happily approached Vasava. Content in his mind, he asked for the invincible Shakti. Karna said, O Vasava, in exchange for my armor and earrings, give me the invincible Shakti that kills large numbers of enemies on the field of battle. O protector of the earth, for an instant Vasava thought about this in his mind. With the spear in mind, he then spoke these words to Karna. Give me the earrings and the armor from your body, O Karna. Take the Shakti from me, but on one condition. When I am fighting with Daityas, this invincible Shakti is released from my hand, and having killed hundreds of enemies, returns again to my hand. O son of a Sutta, but in your hands it will kill one powerful enemy who roars and blazes. Then it will return to my hand. Karna replied, I wish to kill only one enemy in a great battle. He roars and blazes, and is the source of fear for me. Indra said, You kill one roaring and powerful enemy in battle, but the one you seek to kill is protected by a great-souled one, who is known as the unvanquished boar. There's a footnote there, a reference to Vishnu's boar Varaha incarnation. Hari, and the inconceivable Narayan by those who are learned in the Vedas. Karna replied, O illustrious one, nevertheless, give me the invincible Shakti, capable of slaying one brave person so that I can kill the powerful one. I will slice off the earrings and armor and give them to you. But after this, let my wounded limbs not look loathsome. Indra said, O Karna, you will never look loathsome. You do not utter a falsehood, and your body will not be scarred. O supreme among eloquent ones, O Karna, you will again possess the complexion and energy of your father. Your complexion will again become like his. But if you unleash this invincible weapon in a fit of fury, when you possess other weapons, there is no doubt that it will descend on you. Karna replied, O Shakra, as you have told me, I will release Vasava's weapon only when I confront supreme danger. I promise you this truthfully. O Lord of the earth. He then accepted the flaming Shakti. He grasped his sharp sword and began to cut up his entire body. On seeing Karna cut up his own body, the gods, humans, Danavas, and masses of Siddhas began to roar, because, despite the pain, there were no distortions on his face. Celestial drums were sounded, and divine flowers were showered down from above. At the sight of Karna, the brave man, smiling repeatedly as he cut up his own body with the sword. Having sliced off the divine armor from his body, while it was still wet, he gave it to Vasava. Then he sliced off and gave the earrings. Because of this deed, Karna came to be known as Vaikartana, which means to cut or slice. However, Vikartana is the name of the sun god, and the sun god's son is Vaikartana. End of footnote there. Shakra smiled at his deception, thinking that he had accomplished the objective of the Pandavas, and subsequently soared up to heaven. However, he ensured Karna obtained fame in the world. Having heard that Karna had been deceived, all the sons of Dhritarashtra were miserable, and their insolence was shattered. But on learning about the state that the son of the suitor had been reduced to, the Partas were happy in the forest. Janamejaya asked, "Where did the brave Pandavas reside? How did they learn about these glad tidings? What did they do when the 12 years had passed? O illustrious one, tell me everything about all this." Vaishampayana said, "Having defeated Sandav and got Krishna back, and having heard the ancient and detailed accounts about gods and rishis from Markandeya, they left Kamyaka hermitage with the Brahmanas, with all their chariots, servants, cooks, and supervisors of the kitchen. The brave ones among men went to sacred Dvaitavana, after having completed their entire dreadful stay in the forest." Okay, section 44, Araneya Parva. This Parva has 191 shlokas and 5 chapters. Arani means wood, used for kindling, and this Parva is named after that. Requested by a Brahmana whose kindling has been lost, the Pandavas pursue a deer. Failing to answer a Yaksha's questions, Nakula, Sahadev, Arjuna, and Bhima are killed, but are restored to life when Yudhishthira answers the Yaksha's questions correctly. Chapter 592, Episode 295. Janamejaya asked, "They experienced great sorrow when their wife was abducted. What did the Pandavas do when they obtained Krishna back?" Vaishampayana said, "Oh, they suffered supreme distress when Krishna was abducted. Together with his brothers, the undecaying king left Kamyaka. Yudhishthira again went to beautiful Dvaitavan. They went towards Markandeya's beautiful hermitage, where there were succulent roots and fruit. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, all the Pandavas began to reside there with Krishna, controlled in their vows and living frugally on a diet of fruit. While Kunti's sons, King Yudhishthira, Bhimasen, Arjuna, and the 2 Pandavas who were Madri's sons lived in Dvaitavan, those scorcher of enemies, with dharma in their souls, devoted to Brahmanas and rigid in their vows, experienced a great calamity that eventually ended in happiness. While Ajatashatru was seated with his brothers in the forest, a Brahmana swiftly approached and sorrowfully spoke these words to him. "I left my kindling in the churning rod against a tree, but they stuck to the antlers of a deer that rubbed itself against it. O king, the great deer rushed away at great speed from the hermitage, using giant leaps. O king, swiftly follow the footprints of that great deer. O Pandavas, bring those back to me, so that my Agnihotra is not spoiled." On hearing the words of the Brahmana, Yudhisthira felt sorry. Kaunteya grasped his bow and left with his brothers. For the sake of the Brahmana, all those archers and bulls among men prepared themselves and swiftly dashed after the deer. The Pandavas saw the deer at a short distance and hurled barbed arrows, hollow arrows, and iron arrows at it. But the Maharatas could not pierce it. While they were trying in this way, the great deer disappeared. On seeing the deer disappear, those intelligent ones were exhausted and sorry. In that dense forest, they sought shelter under the cool shade of a banyan tree. Their limbs were sore with hunger and thirst, and they seated themselves. O descendant of the Kuru lineage, when they were seated, Nakula spoke to his eldest brother with a heavy heart and lack of patience. Dharma has never been given up in our lineage, nor have objectives been lost through laziness. We are superior to all beings. O king, why has this disaster befallen us again? Chapter 593, Episode 296. Yudhisthira said, There are no limits to misfortune, nor effects or causes. Dharma distributes it, depending on merits and demerits. Bhima said, The attendant dragged Krishna into the assembly hall like a servant. There is no doubt that we are confronted with this calamity, because I did not kill him then. Arjuna said, I tolerated the extremely harsh words spoken by the Suta's son, which penetrated the bones. There is no doubt that we are confronted with this calamity because of that. Sahadeva said, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, there is no doubt that we are confronted with this calamity because I did not kill Shakuni when he defeated you at the game of dice. Vaishampayana said, Then King Yudhisthira spoke these words to Nakula. O Madri's son, climb a tree and look in the 10 directions. Look for water that is nearby, or trees that grow near water. O son, your brothers are exhausted and thirsty. Following these words, Nakula swiftly climbed a tree. After looking in all the directions, he told his eldest brother, O king, I can see many trees that grow near water. I can hear the cries of cranes. There is no doubt that there is water somewhere here. Kunti's son Yudhisthira, steadfast in his truth, then told him, O peaceful one, swiftly go and fetch some water. On his eldest brother's instructions, Nakula agreed and quickly rushed towards the place where the water was. He saw the crystal clear water surrounded by cranes. Just as he was about to drink it, a voice was heard from heaven. O son, do not be foolish enough to do this. I have obtained possession of this earlier. O Madri's son, answer my question. You can then drink it and take it. But Nakula was very thirsty and ignored these words. He drank the cool water. Having drunk it, he collapsed and fell down. When Nakula did not return for a long time, Kunti's son Yudhisthira told his brave brother Sahadev, the scorcher of enemies, O Sahadev, your brother has been gone for a long time. He is your immediate elder. Go and fetch your brother. Bring water too. On hearing these words, Sahadeva proceeded in that direction. He saw his brother Nakula lying down dead on the ground. He was sorely tormented at the sight of his brother, but he was oppressed by thirst. He rushed towards the water, and the voice spoke these words, O son, do not be foolish enough to do this. I have obtained possession of this earlier. Answer my question. You can then drink it and take it as you wish. But Sahadev was very thirsty and ignored these words. He drank the cool water. Having drunk it, he collapsed and fell down. Then Kunti's son Yudhisthira spoke to Vijaya. O Bibatsu. This is Arjuna. Vijaya is Arjuna. O Bibatsu, O destroyer of enemies, your brothers have been gone for a long time. O fortunate one, go and bring them and the water. At these words, Gudakesh grasped his bow and arrows. The intelligent one grasped his unsheathed sword and proceeded towards the lake. Shvetavahana saw his brothers, the tigers among men, who had gone to fetch water, lying down dead on the ground. On seeing them, as if asleep, Kontea, lion among men, was extremely distressed. He raised his bow and looked around in the forest. Sarvyasachi could not see any beings in that great forest. He was exhausted and rushed towards the water. As he rushed towards it, the voice was heard from the sky. Why are you approaching? You will not be able to drink the water by force. O Kontea, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, if you are able to answer my questions, you will be able to drink the water and take it. Having been thus restrained, Partha said, Show yourself and then restrain me. You will not be able to speak again in this fashion when my arrows pierce you. Saying this, Partha invoked his arrows with mantras. He displayed his skill at shooting arrows targeted at sound, enveloping the directions. Oh, that was the same sentence. O bull among the Bharata lineage, he unleashed many showers of barbed arrows, hollow arrows, and iron arrows towards the sky. The Yaksha said, O Partha, what purpose do these exertions serve? Answer my questions and then drink. If you do not answer the questions, you will cease to exist as soon as you drink. Vaishampayana said, but having unleashed his invincible arrows, he was overcome by thirst. Ignoring the words, he drank and collapsed and fell down. Kunti's son Yudhishthir then spoke to Bhimasen. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, Nakula, Sahadev, and the unvanquished Bivatsu have been gone for a long time, having gone to fetch water. O fortunate one, go and fetch them and bring the water. Having been thus addressed, Bhimasen left in the same direction where his brothers, tigers among men, had fallen down. On seeing them, Bhima was distressed and was oppressed by thirst. The mighty armed one thought that this must have been the work of yakshas or rakshasas. He thought, I will certainly have to fight today, but let me drink the water first. Partha Vrikodara, bull among men, was thirsty and rushed towards the water. The yaksha said, O son, do not be foolish enough to do this. I have obtained possession of this earlier. O Konteya, answer my question. You can then drink it and take it. Vaishampayana said, Bhima ignored the words of the infinitely energetic yaksha. He drank, collapsed, and fell down. O bull among men, at this, the king who was Kunti's son began to think. Tormented in his mind, the mighty armed one arose. He entered the great forest, bereft of the sounds of people. It was infested with ruru deer, boar, and birds. There were dark, colorful, and beautiful trees, abuzz with the sounds of bees and birds. The immensely fortunate one entered the forest and saw the beautiful pond as it was covered with a net of gold. It seemed to have been created by Vishvakarma. It was covered with a bed of lotuses, Sindhuvaras, cane, ketakas, karaviras, and pipalas. He was exhausted and approaching the lake, gazed at it with wonder. I'll do this. I'll go until the next chapter, 595, looks like it's probably about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, you've got to carry on. This is one of
Yeah.
the most famous classic episodes of all the time.
Cool. All right, great, grand. Chapter 594, episode 297. Vaishampayana said, he saw his dead brothers, as glorious as Shakra, like dislodged guardians of the world when the end of the Yuga had arrived. He saw Arjuna dead, with his bow and arrows scattered, and Bhimasen and the twins, motionless and bereft of life. He shed tears of sorrow and breathed hot and deep sighs. Using his intelligence, he began to think, who has killed these brave ones? There are no marks of weapons on them, nor are there any signs of footprints. I think it must be a great being that has killed my brothers in this way. I must reflect on this with concentration. Perhaps I will find out after drinking the water. Perhaps this is a deed that has been undertaken by Duryodhan, who cannot differentiate between what should be done and what should not be done, in secret, always aided by the wicked-minded king of Gandhara. That would be Shakuni. No brave person can trust that evil one, whose soul has not been perfected. Or perhaps that evil-souled one has employed secret servants. Thus the mighty armed one thought in many ways, but he did not think that the water was tainted through poison. He thought, the faces of my brothers are healthy in complexion. These men are excellent, and each one of them is capable of withstanding the shock of a flood of water. Who but Yama, the arbiter of destiny, can subjugate them? Reflecting in this way, he entered the water. As he entered, he heard these words from the sky. The Yaksha said, I am a crane that lives on aquatic plants and fish. I have taken your younger brothers to the land of the dead. O Prince, if you do not answer my questions, you will be the fifth. O son, do not be foolish enough to do this. I have obtained possession of this earlier. O Konteya, answer my questions, then drink and take the water. Yudhishthira said, are you the foremost among the Rudras, the Vasus, or the Maruts? I am asking you, which god are you? This is not the task of a bird. Who is the greatly energetic one who has felled these 4 mountains, Himalaya, Pariyatra, Vindhya, and Malaya? O supreme among those who are strong, you have performed an extremely great deed. The gods, the Gandharvas, the Asuras, and the Rakshasas are incapable of withstanding them in a great battle. You have accomplished something that is extraordinary. I do not know what you are doing, nor do I know your intentions. I am greatly curious, but I am also overwhelmed by fright. You are consuming my heart and have brought fever to my head. O illustrious one, I am asking you, who are you established here? The Yaksha replied, I am a Yaksha. I am not an aquatic bird. It is I who killed all your greatly energetic brothers. Vaishampayana said, O king, on hearing these inauspicious words spoken by the Yaksha in a harsh voice, he approached nearby and stood there. The bull among the Bharata lineage saw the Yaksha, with malformed eyes and gigantic in form, as tall as a tala tree. He was as fiery as the fire and the sun, and was invincible like a mountain. The immensely strong one stood on a mound and censured him in a voice that was as deep as the roar of thunder. The Yaksha said, O king, these brothers of yours were repeatedly restrained by me, but they tried to drink the water by force, and I killed them. O king, this water should not be drunk by someone who desires his life. O Partha, do not be foolish. I have obtained possession of this earlier. O Konteya, answer my questions, then drink and take. Yudhishthira replied, O Yaksha, I do not desire what you have possessed earlier. Learned men never praise such desires, nor should men praise themselves on their own. O Lord, ask me. I will answer according to my wisdom. The Yaksha asked, what makes the sun rise, and who are those near him? What makes him set, and on what is he established? Yudhishthira replied, Brahma makes the sun rise, and the gods remain near him. Dharma makes him set, and he is established in truth. The Yaksha asked, how does one become learned? How does one attain greatness? O king, how does one obtain a second? How does one become intelligent? Yudhisthira replied, one becomes learned through the sacred texts. One attains greatness through austerities. One obtains a second through perseverance. One becomes intelligent by serving the elders. The Yaksha asked, what is the divine trait of Brahmanas? What dharma of theirs is like that of the virtuous? What are their human traits? Which of their traits are like that of those without virtue? Yudhisthira replied, the study of the Vedas is their divine trait. Austerities are like that of the virtuous. Mortality is their human trait. Slander is like the conduct of those without virtue. The Yaksha asked, what is the divine trait of Kshatriyas? What dharma of theirs is like that of the virtuous? What are their human traits? Which of their traits are like that of those without virtue? Yudhisthira replied, arrows and weapons are their divine traits. Sacrifices are like that of the virtuous. Fear is their human trait. Desertion is like the conduct of those without virtue. The Yaksha asked, which is the single sacrificial chant? What is the sacrificial formula? What do sacrifices need, and what can sacrifices not transgress? Yudhisthira replied, the breath of life is the single sacrificial chant. Prana. The mind, as it says down there, the mind is the sacrificial formula. Sacrifices need speech. Sacrifices cannot transgress speech. The Yaksha asked, what is the best among those that descend? What is supreme among those that are sown? What is the best among those that stand? What is supreme among those that speak? Yudhisthira replied, rain is the best among those that descend. Seeds are supreme among those that are sown. Cows are best among those that stand. Sons are supreme among those that speak. The Yaksha asked, who experiences the objects of the senses, is intelligent, is worshipped by all the beings in the world, and breathes, but is not alive? Yudhisthira replied, a person who does not render offerings to the five, gods, guests, servants, ancestors, and himself, breathes, but is not alive. The Yaksha asked, what is heavier than earth? What is higher than the sky? What is swifter than the wind? What is more numerous than men? Yudhisthira replied, the mother is heavier than the earth. The father is higher than the sky. The mind is swifter than the wind. Worries are more numerous than men. The Yaksha asked, what does not close its eyes while asleep? What does not move when it is born? What has no heart? What grows through speeding? Yudhisthira replied, a fish does not close its eyes while asleep. An egg does not move when it is born. A stone has no heart. A river grows through speeding. The Yaksha asked, who is a friend to one who is traveling? Who is a friend at home? Who is a friend to one who is sick? Who is a friend to one who is about to die? Yudhisthira replied, a caravan is a friend to a traveler. A wife is a friend at home. A physician is a friend to one who is sick. Charity is a friend to one who is about to die. The Yaksha asked, what travels alone? What is born again after birth? What is a cure for cold? What is the greatest field? Yudhisthira replied, The sun travels alone. The moon is born again after birth. Fire is the cure for cold. The earth is the greatest field. The Yaksha asked, In a single word, what is Dharma? In a single word, what is fame? In a single word, what is heaven? In a single word, what is happiness? Yudhisthira replied, In a single word, dexterity is Dharma. In a single word, generosity is fame. In a single word, truth is heaven. In a single word, conduct is happiness. The Yaksha asked, What is a man's self? What is the friend given by destiny? What is the support of his life? What is the best refuge? Yudhisthira replied, A son is a man's self. The wife is the friend given by destiny. Rains are the support of his life. Generosity is the best refuge. The Yaksha asked, What is supreme among objects that are lauded? What is supreme among riches? What is the supreme gain? What is supreme happiness? Yudhisthira replied, Dexterity is supreme among objects that are lauded. Knowledge of the sacred texts is supreme among riches. Health is the supreme gain. Satisfaction is supreme happiness. The Yaksha asked, What is supreme dharma in this world? What dharma always leads to fruits? What does not grieve when it is controlled? What alliance never breaks? Yudhisthira replied, Non-violence is supreme dharma. The dharma of the three always leads to fruits. Footnote on the three, which are the three Vedas, Rig Veda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. The mind does not grieve when it is controlled. An alliance with the righteous never breaks. The Yaksha asked, If abandoned, what makes one pleasant? If abandoned, what does not lead to sorrow? If abandoned, what ensures prosperity? If abandoned, what makes one happy? Yudhisthira replied, The abandoning of pride makes one pleasant. Oh, I see how this. The abandoning of anger does not lead to sorrow. The abandoning of desire ensures prosperity. The abandoning of desire makes one happy. The Yaksha asked, When is a man dead? When is a kingdom dead? When is a funeral ceremony dead? When is a sacrifice dead? Yudhisthira replied, A poor man is dead. A kingdom without a king is dead. A funeral ceremony performed without a learned brahmana is dead. A sacrifice without dakshina is dead. The Yaksha asked, What is the right direction? What is spoken of as water? O Partha, what is food and what is poison? What is the right time for a funeral ceremony? Then you can drink and take. Yudhisthira replied, The virtuous are the right direction. The sky is water. The cow is food. A request is poison. A brahmana is the best time for a funeral sacrifice. O Yaksha, what do you think? The Yaksha said, O scorcher of enemies, you have answered all my questions correctly. Tell me, who is a man? Which man possesses all riches? Yudhisthira replied, The reputation of good deeds touches heaven and earth. As long as that reputation remains, one is said to be a man. One to whom the pleasant and the unpleasant, happiness and unhappiness, and the past and the future are equal, is a man who possesses all riches. The Yaksha said, O king, You have explained who is a man and which man possesses all riches. Therefore, one of your brothers, whichever one you wish, will live. Yudhisthira replied, O Yaksha, Nakula is dark, with red eyes, mighty arms, and a broad chest. He is as tall as a shala tree. He will live. The Yaksha said, You love Bhimasen and you depend on Arjuna, O king. Why do you then wish Nakula, who is your stepbrother, to be alive? Bhima has strength equal to 10,000 elephants. Why do you discard him and wish Nakula to live? People say that Bhimasen is your beloved. Out of what sentiments do you wish your stepbrother to live? All the Pandavas depend on the strength of Arjuna's arms, but you discard him and wish Nakula to live. Yudhisthira replied, Non-violence is supreme dharma. It is my view that this is the supreme objective. I am attracted to non-violence. O Yaksha, Nakula shall live. Men know of me as a king who always follows dharma. I will not deviate from my own dharma. O Yaksha, let Nakula live. Madri is like Kunti, and I see no difference between the two. I wish the same for both my mothers. O Yaksha, let Nakula live. The Yaksha replied, O bull among the Bharata lineage, since you think that non-violence is superior to Artha and Kama, all of your brothers will be restored to life. Yeah?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, pretty good, isn't it?
Wow, that was just this. That's like the class. Okay, and I'm carrying on with.
Yeah, because I think there's still more to come.
Yeah,
All right.
good.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Hari. Jai. Ooh. Carrying on.
Don't forget about Dina as well.
Yeah, but it's going to have to be into the next volume. I'm just going to do this next bit.
You might as well finish off this volume because Dina's got a different book anyway.
Yeah.
And
So
then
I'm just going to finish. It's just literally. I just checked a few pages. Okay.
yeah, not much. Yeah.
Okay. Carrying on. 595 298. The Aranya Parva. Vaishampayana said, at the Yaksha's words, the Pandavas stood up. All their hunger and thirst disappeared in an instant. Yudhisthira said, Unvanquished, you are standing on one leg in the lake. I'm asking you, which god are you? I do not think that you are a Yaksha. Are you one of the Vasus or one of the Rudras? Are you foremost among the Maruts? Are you the wielder of the Vajra, the lord of the 30 gods? Each of my brothers is capable of fighting hundreds and thousands. I do not see a means whereby all of them can be killed. I see that their senses have been restored and they have awakened pleasantly. Are you our well-wisher or are you our father? The Yaksha replied, O son, O one whose valour is mild, I am your father, Dharma. Wow. Whoo! O bull among the Bharata lineage, know that I arrived with a desire to see you. Fame, truth, self-control, purity, uprightness, humility, steadfastness, charity, austerities, and brahmacharya are my body. Know that non-violence, impartiality, peacefulness, austerities, purity, and lack of envy are gates towards me. You have always been dear to me. It is fortunate that you are devoted to the five. It is fortunate that you have conquered the 6 states. 2 occur earlier, 2 in the middle, and 2 at the end. They're leading to the hereafter. I am Dharma. O fortunate one, I came here to test you, and I am satisfied with your non-violence. O unblemished one, I grant you a boon. O Indra among kings, ask for a boon, O unblemished one, I will grant it to you. Men who are devoted to me never suffer from misfortune. Yudhisthira said, the deer ran away with his kindling. May his fires not be destroyed. That is the first boon I ask for. Dharma replied, O Lord, O Kunteya, in order to test you, I robbed the Brahmanas of his kindling in the form of deer. Vaishampayana said, the illustrious one granted him that boon. Then he asked the fortunate one, who was like an immortal, to ask for another boon. Yudhisthira said, the 12 years of dwelling in the forest have passed, and the 13th have arrived. Wherever we may live, may people not be able to recognize us. Vaishampayana said, the illustrious one granted him that boon. He again comforted Kunteya, for whom truth was his valour. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, even if you travel the earth in your own forms, no one in the 3 worlds will be able to recognize. O extender of the Kuru lineage, through my favours you will spend the 13th year hidden and undetected in the city of Virata. Whatever form each of you desires to assume in your mind, that will be the disguise you will adopt according to your wishes. Return the kindling to the Brahmana, because I stole it in the form of a deer to test you. O son, ask for a third boon that is great and unmatched. O king, you have been born from me, and Vidura has also been born from a part of me. Yudhisthira replied, O eternal God of the gods, it is sufficient that I have set my eyes on your person. O father, I will happily accept whatever boon you are satisfied to grant me. O Lord, may I always be able to conquer avarice, delusion, and anger. May my mind always be inclined towards generosity, austerity, and truth. The Dharma said, O Pandava, you are naturally endowed with all the qualities. You are Dharma yourself, but you will obtain what you ask for. Having said this, the illustrious Dharma who sustains the worlds disappeared. The intelligent Pandavas were reunited and slept happily, free from exhaustion. All the brave ones returned to the hermitage and gave the kindling to the ascetic Brahmana. O a self-controlled man who restrains his senses and reads this great account of the restoration and meeting of the Father and the Son, an account that extends fame, lives for 100 years with sons and grandsons. Men who know of this good account are never inclined towards adharma and are not separated from their well-wishers. They do not steal the possessions of others or violate other people's wives. They never find pleasure in vile sentiments. I just think this must be the last bit. 596299. Vaishampayana said, when the Pandavas, for whom truth was their valour, had been granted leave by Dharma, they were ready to spend the 13th year in hiding and in disguise. Rigid in their vows, the intelligent ones seated themselves. Hands joined in salutation, those great-souled and righteous ones spoke to the ascetics who had lived in the forests out of affection for them. The ones who had lived in the forest the ones who had lived there, steady in their vows, sought their permission. All of you know everything about how the sons of Dhritarashtra have robbed us of our kingdom through deceit and have injured us in many other ways. Amidst great hardship, we have lived in the forest for 12 years. The 13th year, which must be spent undetected, still remains. We must spend that time in concealment, and we seek your permission. The enemies who always resent us, the evil souls, Suryodhana and Karna with Shobhala, will try to create difficulties for us, our citizens and our relatives, should they manage to detect us. We will again be established in our own kingdom and country together with all the Brahmanas. Question mark. Having spoken these words, King Yudhisthira, the pure son of Dharma, was oppressed by grief and, with his voice choking with tears, lost his senses. Then all the Brahmanas and his brothers comforted him. Great illustration. Sorry. Domya spoke these words, full of grave import, to the king. O king, you are learned, self-controlled, true to your promises, and in control of your senses. Such men are not confounded when they confront a calamity. In times of difficulty, even the great soul gods have gone into hiding in many places with the objective of subjugating their enemies. To accomplish the task of subjugating the strength of his enemies, Indra went to a hermitage in the land of the Nishadas, located on the slopes of the mountain, and hid there. To kill the Daityas, Vishnu spent a long time in hiding in Aditi's womb and was then born as Hayashira. Who's that? Oh, Hayagriva. Okay. Disguising himself with the form of a dwarf, the one whose form is that of the Brahman, and used his valor to usurp Bali of his kingdom. You have heard about this, O son. You have heard everything about how Brahmashi Urva accomplished the objective of the worlds while hidden in a thigh. O one learned in Dharma, you have heard how Hari hid himself in Chakras Vajra so that Mitra might be killed. You have heard everything about how Agni entered and concealed himself in the water to accomplish the tasks of the gods, O son. The supremely energetic Mivashat lived in hiding in earth, and later burnt up all his enemies. Vishnu, terrible in his deeds, lived in Jasharatha's house and in disguise killed Jashagriva in battle. Thus did the great souled ones live in disguise. Then they oh, a minute. Sorry. Then, sorry. Thus did the great souled ones live in disguise. Then they conquered their enemies in battle, and you will also triumph in that way. Yudhisthira was thus comforted by the words of Domya, who knew about Dharma, and using his own intelligence and knowledge of the sacred text, no longer wavered. The mighty armed and immensely strong Bhimashena, foremost among strong ones, spoke to the king and raised his spirits. O great king, look at Gandiva Dvana. Because of his devotion to Dharma and because of his own intelligence, he has not acted foolishly yet. Nakula and Sahadev, terrible in their valor, are capable of slaying the enemies, but have always been restrained by me. We will not deviate from whatever tasks you assign to us. You must tell us what we should do, and we will swiftly carry it out and vanquish our enemies. When Bhimashena spoke these words, the Brahmanas pronounced supreme benedictions on him. Having bid farewell to the descendants of the Bharata lineage, all of them returned to their own houses. All those who were foremost in the knowledge of the Vedas, ascetics and sages, pronounced their blessings in the prescribed way and desired to see them again. The 5 learned Pandavas arose with Domya, O descendant of the Bharata lineage. The brave ones set out with Krishna, Draupadi. After traversing the distance of Akrosha, they seated themselves at a spot Those tigers among men were ready to begin their sojourn of concealment. Each of them was separately learned in the sacred text, but all of them also skilled in consultations. They were knowledgeable about when it was a time for peace and when it was a time for war. Before departing, they sat down and consulted each other. Thus ends Ananyaka Parva. Jai Hari Om.
Hey, ball. So, Dina, we're on the Virata Parva now.
Wow.
You got that? It's great, isn't it? Where's Dina?
It was so good
Oh, yeah,
because
I'm
I had
here.
no idea what was actually going to happen. I've never read that before. So I was like reading, I was going into an unknown territory there, which was absolutely exquisite and wow. And especially because doing all these images now, all of their personalities are just so special and different, unique, but together they're this amazing conglomerate. Anyway, Dina, over to you.
I've just got to reconnect to the internet. I just got.
Anybody want to say something about what we just read? Mother?
Well, I'll give you the summary of this one because it's not in the one Dina's reading from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you
So
come
it
back
says
on
that
video?
Vairata Parva has 282 shlokas and 12 chapters. This section is named after Virata. Virata is the proper name, whereas Vairata is the adjective. In section 44, volume 3, at the end of Aranyaka Varnaparva, a Brahmin's kindling was robbed by a deer and the Pandavas pursued the deer. The section takes off from there. The Pandavas decide to spend the 13th year in disguise in King Virata's kingdom. In individual disguises, the Pandavas and Draupadi arrive in King Virata's court and are accepted by him. Yudhishthira becomes Kanka, Bhima becomes Ballava, Arjuna becomes Brihannara, Nakula becomes Grantika, Sahadeva becomes Tantipala, and Draupadi becomes Sairendri. Got it, Dina, now?
The Pandava Pravesh Parva, huh?
Haha, yep.
ठीक है. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhika Stadalaye Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tatpataya Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om, having bowed down to Narayan and Nara, the most exalted of male beings, and also to the goddess Saraswati, must the word Jaya be uttered. Janamejaya said, "How did my great-grandfathers, afflicted with the fear of Duryodhana, pass their days undiscovered in the city of Virata? And, O Brahmana, how did the highly blessed Draupadi, stricken with woe, devoted to her lords, and ever adoring the deity, spend her days unrecognized?" Vaishampayana said, "Listen, O Lord of men, how thy great-grandfathers passed the period of unrecognition in the city of Virata, having in this way obtained boons from the god of justice. The best of virtuous men, Yudhishthira, returned to the asylum and related unto the Brahmanas all that had happened. And having related everything unto them, Yudhishthira restored to that regenerate Brahmana, who had followed him, the churning staff and the fire sticks he had lost. And, O Bharat, the son of the god of justice, the royal Yudhishthira of high soul, then called together all his younger brothers and addressed them, saying, "Exiled from our kingdom, we have passed 12 years. The 13th year, hard to spend, hath now come. Do thou therefore, O Arjuna, son of Kunti, select some spot where we may pass our days undiscovered by our enemies." Arjuna replied, Even by virtue of Dharma's boon, we shall, O Lord of men, range about undiscovered by men. Still, for purpose of residence, I shall mention some spots that are both delightful and secluded. Do thou select one of them, surrounding the kingdom of the Kurus. Many countries beautiful and abounding in corn, such as Panchala, Chedi, Matsya, Suresen, Patachara, Dasarana, Navarastra, Mala, Salva, Jugandhara, Saurashtra, Avanti, and the spacious Kuntirashtra. Which of these, O king, would thou choose and where, O foremost of monarchs, shall we spend this year? Yudhisthira said, O them of mighty arms, it is even so. What that adorable Lord of all creatures hath said must come to be true. Surely, after consulting together, we must select some delightful, auspicious, and agreeable region for our abode, where we may live free from fear. The aged Virata, king of the Matsyas, is virtuous and powerful and charitable, and is liked by all. And he is also attached to the Pandavas. Even in the city of Virata, O child, we shall, O Bharat, spend this year, entering the service. Tell me, ye sons of the Kuru race, in what capacities ye will servilely present yourselves before the king of the Matsyas. Arjuna said, O God among men, what service wilt thou take in Virata's kingdom? O righteous one, in what capacity wilt thou reside in the city of Virata? Thou art mild and charitable, and modest and virtuous, and firm in promise. What wilt thou, O king, afflicted as thou art with calamity, do? A king is qualified to bear trouble like an ordinary person. How wilt thou overcome this great calamity that has overtaken thee? Yudhishthira replied, Ye sons of the Bharat Kuru race, ye bulls among men, hear what I shall do on appearing before King Virata, presenting myself as a Brahmana, Kanka by name, skilled in dice and fond of play. I shall become a courtier of that high-souled king, and moving upon chessboards beautiful pawns made of ivory, of blue and yellow and red and white hue, by throws of black and red dice, I shall entertain the king with his courtiers and friends. And while I shall continue to thus delight the king, nobody will succeed in discovering me. And should the monarch ask me, I shall say, Formerly I was a bosom friend of Yudhisthira. I tell you that it is thus that I shall pass my days in the city of Virata. What office will thou, O Vrikadara, fill in the city of Virata? Bhim said, I intend to present myself before the Lord of Virata as a cook bearing the name Vallabha. I am skilled in the culinary art, and I shall prepare curries for the king, and excelling all those skilful cooks that adhere to addressed his food, I shall gratify the monarch. And I shall carry mighty loads of wood, and witnessing that mighty feat, the monarch will be pleased. And, O Bharat, beholding such superhuman feats of mine, the servants of the royal household will honor me as a king, and I shall have entire control over all kinds of viands and drinks. And commanded to subdue powerful elephants and mighty bulls, I will do as bidden. And if any combatants will fight with me in the list, then will I vanquish them and thereby entertain the monarch. But I shall not take the life of any of them. I shall only bring them down in such a way that they may not be killed. And on being asked as regards my antecedent, I shall say that formerly I was a wrestler and cook of Yudhisthira. Thus shall I, O king, maintain myself. Yudhisthira said, And what office will be performed by that mighty descendant of Kurus, Dhananjaya, the son of Kunti, that foremost of men, possessed of long arms, invincible in fight, and before whom, while he was staying with Krishna, divine Agni himself, desirous of consuming the forest of Kandava, had formerly appeared in the guise of a Brahmana? What office will be performed by that best of warriors, Arjuna, who proceeded to that forest and gratified Agni, vanquishing on a single car and slaying huge Nagas, Rakshasas, and who married the sister of Vasuki himself, the king of the Nagas? Even as the sun is the foremost of all heat-giving bodies, as the Brahmana is the best of all bipeds, as the cobra is the foremost of all serpents, as fire is the first of all things possessed of energy, as the thunderbolt is the foremost of all weapons, as the humped bull is the foremost of all animals of the bovine breed, as the ocean is the foremost of all watery expanses, as clouds charged with rain are the foremost of all clouds, as Ananta, the first of all Nagas, as Airavata is the foremost of all elephants, as the sun is the foremost of all beloved objects, and lastly, as the wife is the best of all friends. So, O Vrikudara, is the youthful Gudakesh the foremost of all bowmen, and O Bharat, what office will be performed by Bibatsu, the wielder of Gandiva, whose car is drawn by white horses, and who is not inferior to Indra or Vasudeva himself? What office will be performed by Arjuna, who, dwelling for 5 years in the abode of the thousand-eyed deity, Indra, shining in celestial lustre, acquired by his own energy the science of superhuman arms with all celestial weapons, and whom I regard as the 10th Rudra, the 13th Aditya, the 9th Vasu, and the 10th Graha, whose arms, symmetrical and long, have the skin hardened by constant strokes of the bowstring, and cicatrices which resemble those on the humps of bulls, that foremost of warriors, who is as Himavat among mountains, the ocean among expanses of water, Shakra among the celestial, Avyavaha, fire, among the Vasus, the tiger amongst beasts, and Garuda among feathery tribes. Arjuna replied, O Lord of the earth, I will declare myself as one of the neuter sex, O monarch. It is indeed difficult to hide the marks of the bowstring on my arms. I will, however, cover both my cicatrized arms with bangles, wearing brilliant rings on my ears and conch bangles on my wrists, and causing a braid to hang down from my head. I shall, O king, appear as one of the third sex, Brihanala by name, and living as a female, I shall always entertain the king and the inmates of the inner apartments by reciting stories. And, O king, I shall also instruct the women in Virata's palace in singing and delightful modes of dancing, and in musical instruments of diverse kinds. And I shall also recite the various excellent acts of men, and thus conceal myself, O son of Kunti, by feigning disguise. And, O Bharat, should the king inquire, I will say that I lived as a waiting maid of Draupadi in Yudhisthira's palace. And, O foremost of kings, concealing myself by this means, as fire is concealed by ashes, I shall pass my days agreeably in the palace of Virat. Vaishampayana continued, having said this, Arjuna, that best of men and foremost of virtuous persons, became silent. Then the king addressed another brother of his. Sorry, my internet's down. Okay, sorry.
You're not telling us the chapters, you're just reading through.
Sorry, the chapters aren't there in Roman numerals. Sorry. They have headings, huh?
You read section 1 and you went straight into section 2 without telling us.
Now this is 3. Sorry.
And there was another thing, it said, I regard you as the 10th Rudra. It should have been the 12th.
Okay.
And he said, no, I regard you as the 9th Rudra, but it should be the 12th because there are 11. So he's saying, like you're one extra of all these different groups.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that came to mind. Yeah.
And I think it's Virata. I think it's a long A.
Oh, Virata.
I think it is. But
what was I saying? Virata.
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 So I think, well, look, why don't you just read section 3 and then we'll stop there.
Okay, then.
Is that all right, Matara?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yudhisthira said.
And that's right. That's totally fine with me, please.
Yeah.
It's fabulous. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Blessings. Yudhisthira said, tender, possessed of a graceful presence, and deserving of every luxury as thou art, what office wilt thou, O heroic Nakula, discharge while living in the dominions of that king? Tell me all about it. Nakula said, under the name of Grantika, I shall become the keeper of the horses of King Virata. I have a thorough knowledge of this work and am skillful in tending horses. Besides, the task is agreeable to me, and I possess great skill in training and treating horses. And horses are ever dear to me as they are to thee, O King of the Kurus. At my hands, even colts and mares become docile. These never become vicious in bearing a rider or drawing a car, and those persons in the city of Virat may inquire of me. I shall, O bull of Bharat race, say, formerly I was employed by Yudhisthira in the charge of his horses. Thus disguised, O king, I shall spend my days delightfully in the city of Virat. No one will be able to discover me, as I will gratify the monarch thus. Yudhisthira said, how wilt thou, O Sahadev, bear thyself before that king? And what, O child, is that which thou wilt do in order to live in disguise? Sahadev replied, I will become a keeper of the kine of Virat's king. I am skilled in milking kine and taking their history, as well as in taming their fierceness. Passing under the name of Tantripal, I shall perform my duties deftly. Let thy heart's fever be dispelled. Formerly, I was frequently employed to look after the kine, and, O Lord of the earth, I have a particular knowledge of that work, and, O monarch, I am well acquainted with the nature of kine, as also with their auspicious marks and other matters relating to them. I can also discriminate bulls with auspicious marks, the scent of whose urine may make even the barren being fourth child. The scent of whose urine may make even the barren being fourth child. Even that's what
typo, it should be bring.
Yeah. Oh, bring forth a child. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. The power of cow urine. Even thus will I live, and I always take delight in work of this kind. Indeed, no one will then be able to recognize me, and I will moreover gratify the monarch. Yudhisthira said, this is our beloved wife, dearer to us than our lives. Verily, she deserveth to be cherished by us like a mother, and regarded like an elder sister. Unacquainted as she is with any kind of womanly work, what office will Krishna, the daughter of Drupad, perform? Delicate and young, she is a princess of great repute, devoted to her lords, and eminently virtuous. Also, how will she live? Since her birth, she hath enjoyed only garlands and perfume, and ornaments and costly robes? Draupadi replied, There is a class of persons called Sarindris, who enter the services of others. Other females, however, that are respectable do not do so. Of this class there are some. I shall give myself out as a Sarindri, skilled in dressing hair and Bharat. On being questioned by the king, I shall say that I served as a waiting woman of Draupadi in Yudhisthira's household. I shall thus pass my days in disguise, and I shall serve the famous Sudeshna, the wife of the king. Surely, obtaining me, she will cherish me duly. Do not grieve so, O king. Yudhisthira said, O Krishna, thou speakst well, but, O fair girl, thou wert born in a respectable family. Chaste as thou art, and always engaged in observing virtuous vows, thou knowest not what is sin. Do thou therefore conduct thyself in such a way that sinful men of evil hearts may not be gladdened by gazing at thee.
Yeah. Should we leave it there then? Because that's now we've got all their
That's
disguises.
perfect. That's it. Perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Matura.